The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a truly unique piece of British comedy sci-fi. It found success as a radio series, a collection of books, a TV show, and even a movie.
You're kind of stretching success when it comes to that movie, Commander.
You don't think making 100 million is a success?
On a budget of 50, so when you take marketing into account, it probably barely broke even.
Well, at least it's not a gargantuan loss like Megalopolis.
Great iridescent egg, don't remind me of that monstrosity.
Well, whether it's the radio show, TV series, the books, or the movie, those adventures introduced us to the most depressed robot of all time, Marvin.
But why even bother to recreate him?
Getting into the depressed swing of things, McCluck?
What? No, what I mean is LEGO released a very adequate robot as part of their 6th collectible minifigure series, which looks good enough to pass for a Marvin, don't you think?
That's my sig fig. Well, at least the head is.
You're right, Alicia. It is. And no, McCluck. Even if it was an adequate replacement for the Marvin robot from the 80s show, that's not the one we're going to attempt to replicate here. We'll be focusing on the version depicted in the 2005 movie.
So what are we waiting for?
Let's get building! That Marvin is pretty much a mixture of black and white parts, with a really big round head. Yay! Another robot that won't end up being mostly grey.
The movie version's all round. That's gotta be a challenge.
Yeah, we're going to have to take some liberties once again, but hopefully Marvin's essence will be preserved. It's got tiny legs compared to the rest of his body, so let's start with a couple of 1x1 round plates for the feet, and attach those to a modified 1x1 tile with a clip.
Shame the 1x1 round plate with a clip isn't available in white.
Couldn't agree more. Our model would look much nicer with those instead. We might have to update it once LEGO make that part in that color, but until then, we're stuck with those. Now, to connect these legs together, we'll be using a trusty T-bar piece, and we'll slot in a 1x1 round plate with a hole through it so that we can attach a 1x1 brick with studs on 2 sides for the main body.
A what now?
A 1x1 brick with studs on 2 sides.
Don't we usually use a brick with studs on all sides?
Yes, we do, but not in this case.
Ha! You just blew my mind, man.
Okay, so to do the shoulders, we'll be...
You'll be using that versatile 1x1 tile piece with a bar, right?
Wrong.
What?
I thought I'd use a 3L bar you can slide through that 1x1 brick instead. Come on, guys, I don't see why you're so surprised. After all, I used that same technique when I made Chimp. Plus, if we always use the same parts, this series will get a little too repetitive, don't you think?
Couldn't agree more, Captain.
Okay, moving on. Let's use a couple of 1x1 round plates with holes to beef up the shoulders, and for the arms, considering they're supposed to be white with black hands, I can't really use all-in-one parts like I have for Johnny 5, or Chimp, or Tweaky, and a bunch of others.
It really has to be 2 parts.
It does. So the arms are made with a bar holder with clip, followed by mechanical claws for the hands.
Is that the smallest solution you could find?
It was, McCluck. Now, let's focus on the head, which was a bit of a challenge. How to recreate a large round head that isn't too big so as not to make the model too tall.
You do have to keep it to minifig scale.
Exactly, that's the whole point of this series. This is where the biggest compromise had to happen. Instead of a fully spherical head, this Marvin will have to cope with half a sphere. So, let's start with the neck, which isn't made up of a 1x1 round plate as you'd expect, but one of those 1x1 round tiles with a bar.
You're just full of surprises with this model.
I think it gives Marvin a nicer looking neck. Now, that bar slots in nicely through the cross-axle hole of a 2x2 round plate. For the eyes, well, I can't really give him any, although I can give him the essence of 2 eyes, sort of, with the use of a round quarter tile. I'm also going to use the same piece for the back, and a couple of regular 1x1 round plates on the sides. These give me 2 studs, which I can use to secure a 2x2 dome where Marvin's big brain is stored.
Brain the size of a planet.
And when you place it next to a minifig, you can see that his head is vastly bigger.
Although Marvin's much taller than his movie version.
Yeah, he is. Height was one of the biggest challenges, and this was the shortest I could manage. Maybe one of our viewers has a better idea? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this version of Marvin, and if you like what we do,
and how we do it,
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course.
The link's in the description and pinned comment, and we'll speak to you again
next time on the Year of the Robots.
Guten Tag, Herr Doktor.
Uh-oh.
Let's use a couple of 1x1 round plates with holes to beef up those shoulders. And for the arms, considering blah blah blah.